Hello everybody, Gizmo here, hope you're having a wonderful day. And today I wanted to talk to you about Chocobo GP Season 3. Because honestly, is it even worth it? In this video I'll give you my initial thoughts on the season, as well as give you a rundown of the content you can expect to find, and I'll also talk about the patch notes that released prior to this season's release. Upon logging in, the player is awarded 800 Mithril as a login bonus, and this is good as it allows you to purchase the full season pass right off the bat for Season 3, and its various goodies that it contains inside. But what exactly does Season 3 contain? Well, at a first glance you can see the various characters and costumes that you can unlock for Season 3, such as Odin and Ultros and the swimwear costume set found in the Mithril Marketplace. These are awarded to Chocobo, Atla, Sherma, and Shiva. And you can also find other cosmetic items in the Mithril Marketplace like music and colour palettes, as well as costumes from previous seasons, although not all costumes are available at this moment in time, due to a little bit of exclusivity within the seasons, but hopefully they will come back at a later date. Unfortunately, as of right now, you cannot preview to listen to any of the music inside the Mithril Marketplace prior to your purchase. I'm hoping that Square Enix do address this in a future update and allow us to at least preview some of the music before we purchase, as you don't always know the title of the song, especially if you're not a previous Final Fantasy fan anyway. So it'd be nice to just have this option to listen to a piece of music before you actually purchase it. Of course, the highlight of this season are the characters themselves, Odin and Ultros. And I'm just gonna unlock Odin. And I'm just going to start with Odin first, just because having a first-hand grab on both of these characters, I have to say Odin is my favourite. And I love the unique ability that they have given him, because it is Zansetsuken, similar to the ability he uses in traditional Final Fantasy. However, in those games it is used as an ability to one-shot KO an enemy. In Chocobo GP it works a little bit differently, as Odin can teleport to an enemy, give them a slash, which then stops them mid-race. It's similar in style to Cloud, except instead of spinning around, Odin literally just teleports. But when you're in the receiving end, you get to see a really cool animation of kanji characters popping up on the screen before Odin strikes. There are also a variety of different cards to choose from, with the standard, grip, and speed models. And for Odin, I must admit, the grip model is my favourite, and it's called Sleipnir version 6. And the reason it's my favourite is because it is the most aesthetically pleasing of the bunch, as Odin has his full horse on display. Whereas with the speed variant, which is usually my favourite, it just looks like it's pushed down and crunched. Like, ugh. Alternatively, if you're not a fan of Odin, you can also play as Ultros, whose unique ability is to throw a weight onto an enemy racer, which temporarily slows them down for the duration the weight is on them. However, the enemy can also press the R button to quickly shake off the weight. And I must admit, if there's one thing I want Square to patch with this season, it would be the unique abilities of both Odin and Ultros, as both do feel a little bit janky, more so with Odin, as sometimes he can teleport to an enemy racer and actually miss. Whereas with Ultros, I would love for them to increase the duration that the weight stays on the enemy player, or increase the intensity in which they have to smash the R button, just because it is really easy when on the receiving end of Ultros' move to shake off that weight, to the point where it doesn't really slow you down as a player. I feel Chocobo GP just needs to give a few tweaks to both Odin and Ultros, and they could be really, really good characters. And just like Odin, Ultros has 3 unique vehicle models to unlock throughout the season pass. And these are the standard, grip, and speed models. For Ultros, my favourite vehicle model is the speed variant, Professor Typhon. And this is purely because Typhon carries a paintbrush in this variant, and also has a cute painting of Ultros, which to me is just a really cool little detail, but also highlights their friendship as well. Additionally, Ultros has 3 different colours to unlock, and these are normal, hot, and cold, and I must admit, out of the 3, the hot one is probably the best. So I'd definitely say if there's a favourite colour scheme for Ultron, I would definitely say get the hot colour scheme above all else. It's really, really cool. And whilst it is nice that Chocobo GP Season 3 does add new characters to the game, vehicles, colour palettes, and stickers, it does seem lackluster when compared to Season 2. And I'm specifically talking about the lack of a track, because in Season 2 we did get Balam Garden. But in Season 3, it just seems that we're just offered more characters to play with. Now, as great as additional characters are for this game, we do have way too many characters, 30 to be exact, and only 10 different tracks. Yes, there are variations, but in total, there are 10 different tracks. So I think the way Chocobo GP can expand and get better in the future is by granting additional tracks within the seasons, because in terms of content, we have a load of characters. Costumes, I'm sure, will still cycle in and out throughout the seasons as they continue to progress, but I just really would like Square to focus more on the tracks given at this moment in time, especially considering Season 3. And I get they went with the summer theme, with the swimsuits and all that, but they could have also gone with a summer themed track, like Altisha, Coast of the Soul, and Be Said, because I feel like these would have really upped the ante for the game and just provided more content, which the game, in my opinion, solely does need. And if you're liking this content so far, I would appreciate it if you just pop the like button. Thank you very much for doing that. And some positives of Chocobo GP Season 3 are the patch notes themselves, as they have managed to fix various issues within the game, such as the countdown for the race. Some players were able to move before the countdown had officially finished, while other players were stuck waiting for the countdown to finish. This has been patched, as well as the placement ranks for when you finish a race. Say if you finished, for example, 4th, sometimes the game would register that you actually finished 5th. Although your character is happy and smiley and saying, yes, we're moving on to the next placement of the GP, sometimes that would actually cost you the round of the GP, and you would actually be booted out of the game because you made 5th place. And I'd just like to highlight that it's really cool that Square has patched these issues that have plagued the game since day one. There are now 5 new Series Cups available, as well as a start over option awarded in the single player story mode, as previously you had to either quit the race entirely or finish it just to be able to start at the beginning, say if you were to lose or not complete a story objective that you were trying to complete. So hopefully this makes unlocking character a lot easier for newer players. And in addition to that, some characters have undergone a patch, such as Atla, Camilla, Sleeth, Vivi and Gilgamesh, in which you can fill their gauge quicker. And other characters which they've actually done the opposite and made it harder to fill their gauge quicker are Mecha Chocobo and Cactar. There are also some characters who now have an improved boost status effect when using their abilities, and these are Atla, Sherma, Sleeth, Shiva, and Vivi. Square Enix have also patched that certain characters will no longer be affected by their unique ability bursts, and these are Terra and Sid. And in regards to Majorine, they've made it slightly easier to control his steering while using his unique abilities. And with Cactar, Cactar can no longer target Claire when Claire is using their ability, as Claire's ability is to basically turn invisible so that no other enemy projectiles can hit them. And last but not least are the Quackies, as they do not become invincible when they detonate their bombs anymore. Square Enix has fixed issues with the Monster Village track itself, in which I wasn't, aware of these issues. But apparently, if you inputted certain commands, it would send you steering off of the course entirely. So yeah, it's nice to know that Square, even if they haven't included a new track for Chocobo GP Season 3, they have gone in and fixed up various issues and patches within the game that could otherwise break or hinder our player experience. And also, I want to highlight that the private multiplayer lobby aspect of the game, I couldn't get into a lobby at all. And when I did create my own lobby, just to see if anyone would join me, I only found one person after searching for about half an hour. I feel like this is definitely an abandoned area within the game of Chocobo GP, and I feel like the only way to really bring that back to life would be to introduce new game modes. For example, maybe even a Battle Royale mode, where the objective isn't to finish the laps within the tracks, but the goal is to use Magicite to overcome an enemy team, and you could even maybe team up with additional players to do that. Going forward, if Square was to implement new game modes and stuff and not just characters and tracks for the new seasons, I think that would be really great and just bring some more longevity to Chocobo GP. This is a game that I feel holds a lot of untapped potential, and I just really would appreciate if we could get Chocobo GP to that point where it can fulfill its actual potential as a game and just hold its own against the other kart racers in the genre, more so the king of it all, Mario Kart. So I really do hope, fingers crossed, for future seasons that we do get more additional tracks, but somewhere down the line, Square does also bring in new game types, because I think that would just bring more players back to Chocobo GP and not just come back every time a new season gets announced kind of thing. Level yourself up till you've got what you want and then leave the game for a few weeks, which is what seems to be happening at the moment. Anyway, that's all for today's video, and I do hope you continue to have a fantastic day. Just remember to pop the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you around.